Hello, insert chef name here. I wanted to ask you, have you ever heard of podcasts? You have? Well, have you ever heard of the Outcast podcasts? You haven't? Well, it's quite a simple little podcast, but let's teach you how to make it. First you get your podcast here, and then you start chopping it with a sharp knife, and then you add a comedic part into it, and you never truly... I cut off my finger. So, now due to blood loss, I am going to pass out, but I will see you guys shortly. And now that you have the podcast all chopped up into different topics, you shove it in your pot, and then you go from there. So let's go to the sink and let's watch this podcast get interesting. Okay, so the cameraman quit on me. He can't handle blood or whatever. So, first you gotta turn on the sink. And then you put your podcast in. Look at that podcast. Now, for the most important part. You gotta make it kind of controlled. See this? It moves all around. So first, you gotta dry all this up. So, let's get to the oven. Okay, so now we're at the oven. You just take your podcast, shove it in there, if it will stay. And now, just gotta heat it up. So set it to 9. You just gotta set it to 9, 9, 9. 9, 9, 9. You son of... Set it to 9, 9. And that's pretty much the temperature you're gonna be going with. Sure, the podcast may seem a little childish at some points, but you get that still special flavor you want. And then you just click start. And there you go. The podcast is now finished. Now, it may just look like a bunch of napkins, but think about it. There are multiple layers now. We got some comedy, got some serious topics, which aren't really common. These ones aren't really the juicier ones. Got some funny running jokes. WandaVision, yes, it has a whole section to itself. And just the people who host it, I guess. And there you have it, the Outcast podcast. Recommendations of when to cook it and when to stop started at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and ended at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The podcast just, for some reason, doesn't happen if you do it before or after those times, so yeah. Also, the reason why I have this on my hand is because during the cut, I accidentally cut off my other finger. So, hope you enjoy that. Also, another thing to know, just a little fun fact, the creators of this recipe were Joseph N., Eric King, and Brandon Weiberg. You can kind of blame them for this disaster, but let's try it. I don't hate it. That's the sad thing.